after I was on BET, there was a show that they had called, you mentioned in the bio, thank you, was One Shot. And this was a show that they were on the search for. Literally, it was over 20,000 or some odd artists that they were tapping into from various cities. And here's the honest to God truth, y'all. I was in my car because straight from work, straight from the station, I went to auditions. One of my friends, shout out to Linda, I love her. She called me and said, "Hey, you need to come down to Miami. You need to come down." It was like 50 minutes out. You need to come down and audition for this. So I went down and I was in the car. I saw there was a long line. It was like a long line. So I said, okay, I look like I'm one of the last people. So I go back to my car and I'm accustomed, like, let me just pray. Because I was too getting all jitty. I said, let me go in my car. I had a feeling to go pray. So I went back in my car. I go to pray. The line is done. So I'm like, wait, what? And I go to the young lady. I'm like, I've been here. I just had to go in the car and get something. I've been here. So I was literally the last person that they let go in. So and then I ended up being one of the top 8 that they had and went through this blown out. But that process was so difficult, and I never really talked about it too much. But throughout that process, my cousin passed away. My father had passed away. So it was in months where people in my family were passing away. And the day after my cousin's funeral, I had to fly out. We took everybody to the movies because I had an endorsement for some app. And I was like, okay, let me take everyone to the movies. We all went to the movies. And right after the movies, I had to fly out to New York and do the show. So but that was the first time in my life where I felt unprepared. And I'm leading to a place with my music, but I kept saying to myself, I don't know my verse. I don't, because we had to write verses on the spot. I don't know my verse. I don't know my verse. I don't know my verse. And I kept repeating that to the point where people were like, they thought I really wasn't good enough. But then when they heard me, they're like, yo, you're super dope. And I'm like, I kept repeating, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And that's the first time that I knew speaking can actually speak life or speak death. Like
absolutely.
But that came to life for me where I'm like, you do know your stuff. Do what you can. You got here for a reason. Do what you know to do. Stop speaking death. I was speaking death over myself. So fast forward, Chad, I felt paid. I was like, okay, we're not gonna do that no more. No, God had his plan definitely for me, but how it got to big screen. So after that, throughout that process, my dad had passed away, as I mentioned. So they had footage of when my dad was alive, and then towards the end of the show, he passed away. So it says, "Mama, you gonna see me on the big screen."